Etiefo ye mamu nyina akwa babiom ene echina Ghana for Independence Day. Ghana independence ye nyina ye mfa ahodie ye kai a statement, a strong statement which was made by our leader, then the leader yen Papa Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. 65 years ago from yesterday, tomorrow was a Ghanaian's independence. And then yababe kiteke yababe didi nkomo yabe didi nkomo afa yemfa hudi a 1957 yem papa Kwame Nkrumah di yen kan ma yeje yen ho yemfa hodie free colonial rule emra na ebibi memu na abrofo no free omukrom no maba Africa asase so ene yen ba be pre yen japade ene yen amamre ene yen niama sede yen niama no emra sakasaka yeba na ewo wiase etitiru ekro we timi sore no akọ atwea ne nua ewo ne kuro so na ose me ne wo ba beko one wo ko na se o wini wana che se an odi usu ana wafa wo mabunu ene wo ma ene emema kukudrofo nyina na ode o makọ into away exile yem papa Kwame Nkrumah ebaaye ebeje yem fa hodie se you Ghana Africa yenso yetimi ebo yen kasa yen japade ho ban eno ene me ne wo ba bedi ho nkomo no. The question and answer say, do we have our independence? Ghana for yenya yemfa hudi anasa afe ne yeba benya. Ohwe ne ekoso a are we celebrating our Independence Day? Ohwe ne ekoso wo Ghana. Ene ne ato Russia for ne ato Ukraine for yi. Ohwe Ghana yenya yemfa hudi ana. Kabi na menkabi amebunu amemuo no eno ena ye gusu ye koso na ye koye nimu wo ho anase ye san akoyechi age ye san eko swear yen in all over again and do we need to be sworn in again and reminded of what independence is. Onu a wabeto me safe na waba me share the video. Me ne Dr. Soga ememre da enwumre ewia enyum we anopa bia ba bibia wo bia no eya na ye de sa dwumadie yi ebrew na wonso wa be kire wa adwen but sane ye di kan no mema Dr. Soga Akwaba na wotwe etwa mu ye hu no. Dr. Soga Akwaba
ya hima pom to say
apomu boko
da nyame ase ti atiefo nyina
ya de nyame ase afishia pa me ma afishia pa Ghana woda
yo ya da nyame ase so wa ma yenkwa ya da so tinkwam na nia ya rehopa ne say Afibia, yes, 6 March. Yes, he celebrate independence. So, say in but share said the enormously Konauka Bakosama. Na wait me, Akase Ghana no ye ni independence bia. Yen Nana Kwame Nkrumah or Sajifo Kwame Nkrumah. Aye, or Bekoye. Eji enhyehyeye bi to ho se yankasa ye bu yan man so ahu ye pese yankasa ye bu yan man ye mpeso broni no na be den e be bu yan man into yourself friend self rule or self governance na self governance no actually from 1960 copying 66 no now it was self governance 67 and Kwame Nkrumah ka say ye total independence from Abrofono, which means ye ne Abrofono ye ni omusika bio because from 1960 no sa bepem 66 no na Abrofono sika ni edi West African pound and to know say that we want to be totally independent from you and to know we're going to have our own currency. We'll have our own system of administration and actually create our own communication systems. Because until then, na Ghana would pay news at here, na BBC. Na Gold Coast na Gold Coast ni yeti Gold Coast News. Now so mostly na BBC because it was still under near was self-governance but still under British administration. Independence, in 1957, and NASA independence, was just a paper thing. It was just written on paper, but in actuality, na yenye independent because Kwame Nkrumah was sikana pe British before, and they determined say yenye sikano it values this much. So if another foreign country, they say what you independence, I'm a sovereign country. Now another foreign country, or no, they determine the value of Usika. Now, do you really have independence?
Oh, intayete say mentume ya me frey debi me call hot renfru. Hot renfru another store wo krom ho a utimi ko ho atade bi wo ho na atade no ne bo enam 5,000. Now when I make a hu yen African print ibi I te say de me maye ade na wo na obi foforo na eba be market eba be value adekodie no nti me ko hot renfru me ko hu atade we bi African print wo ho na $750 na Ghana we yankasa yentume ye bi e na omode leather kitwe bi nti say de ha ne say na ahoma no leather and 700 sa na ye no yen Ghana sika no yankasa ye de sika ba na brofo na nkasa value sika no
woman na de value a true sika no so say ni say na enne besi nne ye ko bobosia a womo de womo paper sika no enne mayen na womo age yen agudie womo gi agudie ni wi a na ye sika no sika no bo no womo asan ate womo asan devalue yen sika.
Okay.
Na je say ye betua bosia na ya bo afi womo ye betua no moho be mienu ana miensa because the moment wa bobosia na pe na wo currencies a devalue
na me because say and na che say ye wo yen fa ahodie mu na ye wo ya na the question is
ye ni fa ahodie because e wo kro o man bia so no ade ba ko a emma a total independence no e sikasem and it is a wo ni sika na say obi e na ema wo sika e na odi akoye say otu fie na bosumi bia no o depend o obi say nipa kro na ema wo sika ansa na odi traduani adi odi ahwe fie so na wo independence
Papa Solomon Nyaba Akwaba yen papa Eno brother Eno Mazo Akwaba osi Osheyen from Libya Nyankopon Chao. Are we in it? Do we have independence in Ghana? Obetimi join the conversation, and that conversation very, very brief, but very, very educational. Dr. Achille say, oh, of our hoodie. Meti hoi, me shame demui, and anka obi edain na mitimu a, anko beka chere me se me ye de do wahanomo. That means to say me ni fa hoodie. Ghana, do we have fa hoodie? And ye wa fa hoodie wo ho. Ye ji ye fa hoodie 65 years ago. Emuna ye wei. Na nke sese yankasa ye sika. Niema nipa unya ufa ahudie se ne Dr. Acheche mu ni se eye wo sika. Yem papa Kwame Nkrumah change ye sika no. Ai otwa yankasa ye sika. Echire papa Kwame Nkrumah o Nyankopon osagefo Nyankopon fa wo kra nsie yenim se wo te baabi e na wo hwe yen wo be hye adwuma paase ampa wo twa Ghana sika Emma Ghana enya step 1 fa ahudie nanso obroni na determine obroni na esensen sika no ne boɔ ene sɛdeɛ ɛsom bofa eno nti omo value yen sika no low that means say fa ahudie na yɛgye ye no na esanka yɛdi hu dwume kakra ene doctor Sita Akwaba ena Noble Akwaba join the conversation momfa more comments mra na yehu the way ankomo no ekono doctor it is a say ya edi ade na wo hwa Ghana yanye antua if baby a yem papa Kwame Nkrumah ugyaye ana na ya bewie state anase tebia Ghana enni fa hodie.
Na o se obi se Libya Gaddafi Kwame Nkrumah ya wotwa sika na pe ana Gaddafi nso ne de na Gaddafi ne de enam se samre no wo mo de wo mo etu enwo ne ne de danti no na wa hwe se enwo no wonye English for ana America for sika bio se mo pese mo to menwo a mo mfa agudie meto onye paper no so na sambre na Ghana no ye koko ne eyinu nkwa na ye ni timba no nkwa na ye yentino Kwame Nkrumah na o lenient kakra esen Gaddafi entino na in fact Kwame Nkrumah science sika no na ye 1 to 1 1 pound the same to one Ghana cedi 1 cedi that time 1 to 1 afeidie eduru mrebi a omo hu se ye sika no eso kosoro because of normal year turn into no and wo mo ahihye World Trade Congress the World Trade WTC World Trade Congress no ho no mo ditem say okay wo se sia no koko no ye beto ni say wo gold no ye beto ni say wo timber no ye beto ni say eno na asha se ema ye sika no devalue na Kwame Nkrumah say saa and you're fine. Mr. Menton, into Washasi building railroads in West Africa to trade within Africa and forget about Europe.
So, hey, Nanka boy you.
Oh, Nkebe boy do. And woman who say acquire or dangerous, seeing you name fewa obe high. And woman ya Kwame Nkrumah few.
Na omo Kwame Nkrumah free hono se yesi abo bi bekika wa na efiri wontum emodua no se muti a munti eyi o. This is a history na Dr. Soga ene yen ego through no. Ghana history na koye te said the efie nuane. Ye wo fufuo mu ahodo nso ebi ne erefuo ti na eye nkwan na ebi ne tinapa. Ebi nso eye na ebunebunu anwa nyina wom. Aha. Wotimi hu enam ahodo egu nkwan num. Ebi nso ede nkatenkwan enkuruma nkwan kro ebi didi fufuo. Enne yen Ghana history na koye pocket enuane efie nuane ena obi anua no se de ope no. Obi ania ba mamenka asemicho. History na say na ahoho wo ye nkuro mu nti no. The history was also recorded outside because we were all joined. It is said the mobeka ni bia wo Ghana no. Kai say na obi nso ne Ghana eye business. Na ahoho wo krom wo mo so mo jot down ni ama koso. It ni doctor ni yen kan hwe 1957 ena yen papa osaje fo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah eje yen fa hodie se yankasa yebedi yen sika yankasa yebeton yen eniama yenyini Ghana obibini enye dam obibini enye ni hani nti ewu hia se obi ena eba ufie na wabekire waduane a wabetete ofoforo wankasa you came with some form of we my friend say believe be anase a foundation bi ena Kwame Nkrumah beje ye otwa yen sika no na ohwe sa amre na doctor chechire mu a eni pound no eye efa yankasa ye pese ye bue yankasa yen communication centers sane ebe ya obroni kasa no anma mesesa yen kasa no na yensu ye betimi esua yen papa Kwame Nkrumah adwene a ode ba Ghana o free United States of America no kosuku as abrantie na oba Ghana ebebo Ghana fo no osan eye we ni wieye no afebie na abrofo ne hu se yen sika no kosoro because na yen ye won japade na ye won gudi a na ye ton the West End no obroni no asase no na emfifihwe olive ne grapes ne toast ena no mu fifi yen so de asase na ase no na niama ngudie sisi ho koko timbers ne niama sa tankura no na yenko akire enko hu se we gas binum ne niama bi hihye ase ho na yen konkwohwe hono na obroni ni sen hu se so oba back na obeka nkrofo yi hye biom eno ne sesen eniama na yeton ma omo no mba be kire ye ne bo se mentume ya me say me ko hu ewo obroni store mu na oton ne $700 $700 no yenso ye ton no 5 cedis oh yenso ye ton no 5 cedis so yen pa ebo to so emmane emfa ejuma emmra yen mebunu ena yama yen mebunu adane nkwa ena omo ne nam ena omo te omo kuntu omo mu na ohene te omo chi ena nkwa edi omo ti instead of say omo ti besu ade no ena ye de ohene asua na beti ena ye ankasa ye di yen hunya wo kro no so ena kwa me kro me hu se da bi ena ye ankasa ye beton ya de ye nia ye ne ye nuanom ebedi yen dwa honom no mo hu se ye yi kwa me kro me free ho me prapra kwan mu a kire wo na abo bi bekeka wo nso a na efiri ntuma ma onu a wo hwe me ti asem ni ye na share video no papa me ye sister share video no ne nkwa akire ene yesuan history ena omo ye sa ene ye bepa efiefo ni bi na ya ma omo brand doctor wo de kosoma yen ene yesuan history
ai na ndi butaya na osajifu na sajifu Kwame Nkrumah na owo magana Ghana betum pon na say Ghana betum pon a na ese Africa nyina yetum pon na nyina because also osua history osua archaeology osua anthropology osua ancient politics ehun say Africa no na nyina na nipa back but everybody had a kingdom na osanso hun say originally not by bia Africa a no one Congo enti osanso propose it to a African Union Organization of African Union said yenye a federation of African nations. Now the capital of the federation will be in Congo as it was in the beginning in the olden days enti no omo preso but that didn't work because now Abrofunu who said akwawe say yen yina mfi ho a asema wode ba no enya asem ketwa enti na say omoyi ni fi ho na Akufo-Addo ne papa nom ne kotokanom atwashi a chese wo manji sika hye ebotomu a wo moyi papa ne fi ho ya esia no eno na de ensemsem abagana hwekwan before so meyi Kwame Nkrumah fi ho na yewo factories assemblies ye assemble cars na yewo mummy trucks ye assemble mummy trucks na ade na ye assemble first no hwea Bedford Austin near yimu a ede adwadifo ekodwa so that was Kwame Nkrumah's na yewo the friend is saying minibus ede nkrofo eko different places now all of these were assembled in Ghana Kwame Nkrumah's time well na Ghana for build a car nanso ye yi ni fi ho pe no ma nyina say factories bebrebe a obie na near mako canned pepper canned tomatoes corner beef near in Ghana Ovaltine Milo chocolate ye nyina ye bibia o Ghana Kwame Nkrumah no so on importation we have everything or creative factories Ghana city first no me work class 1 you go school your mind porridge now the city mienu our packet mun kete na chiche school for achichi achicha ma school for na woyo ujo porridge udin social goods no the sad no we nyina Kwame Nkrumah time he gave all these things to
even me for first no na Ghana for enya sika wo outside say de na ye bobo sian rough gumu na Ghana for ni bi nso me ka say me ko school no na ye che aduane wo canteen na enya say meti krom kura na ye me ka say o ya karafo nko awo na wheat emo brodo ne pano na ye
pano pa Ghana margarine udi Ghana margarine a wonim say yes margarine papa na wudi so ene ni nyina aboye ana aduane fon ana ye defi enti wo moyi Kwame Nkrumah fi ho sa ne che say because plan nanka ekuta sa UGCC, United Gokus Convention for one. Yeah, Akufo-Addo ne papa Pauli nom ne hwan. Na plan ekuta woman say. One person woman continue sa middleman mentality no. So na just say abrofo no any yen business. Na just woman aye middleman. Enti ni abrofo no beka no ne yaye because woman adwum no abrofo no nkwan ne beboa amaya develop. But Asian said they don't know the history. Said Africa was already a developed continent even before Europe became a developed continent. Me na was secondary school, no, Catholic school to near Latin, and to near Roman history. Now you see about Egypt, Carthage, the city of Lisbon, Alexandria. And today, na Satan near you says, growing in Europe. Suddenly in Africa.
Africa. Where the doctor Obroni we crampo wo bribi kan efa saa de no saa history no ho mame emfa mre mu na Ghana fo ntie. Obroni o ono kura enim history no kura san we de ate said de yese ye wo ohene no na opanyin wo fie. Nanso ya nkyerɛkyerɛ ohene no na amamre ene niama a oba bedi hu we oba bedi so no ya nkyerɛ no ehun niama enkrofo bebre leaders bebre they were not raised as kings ohwe ahemfofo eno musiso a they were not being raised as a king yen kyerɛ no Gan tete Africa no now you are raised as a king, as a queen, as a warrior into wo ba no just say yetete o say wo ba bebo eniema bi njapade bi ho ban into wo ba no unim enam yi ewo nsuo mo with your hand wo ba no nim duafro etimi kohye soro ho ne owo etimi kuntokwa wo ba no nyina ye tete wo se de wo ba no che se eni wo wanjapade into wo japade ni ntino ye kyerɛwo enimdie a wo de bebo sa japade no ho ban but Ghana no omo ye wo in a time of emra na Ghana ati se Akufo-Addo no mu ne wo hwe nanafo bi mu a omo se no mu eye ahemfofo no. They didn't raise them as a kings. They didn't raise them as leaders. Iti omu nim amamra omu nim history. Iti omu hu adefofra no omu sa adefofra omu nti obroni we asem o ka kire mo.
DUCE, which means lead. The prefix E stands for out. The suffix ATE means the act of, and the suffix OR means one who does. An educator is one who is engaged in the act of leading people out of ignorance. That's what education should do for us. We do not educate people by telling them that Columbus discovered America. When people from Africa came to this country and discovered this country between 20,000 and 10,000 years before Columbus was a gleam in his father's eye. You see, that is education. And when you teach people, when you educate people, you educate them to the fact that 4,000 years, and you must do this during Black History Month, because we are teaching Black history as if it started with slavery. 4,000 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, people in Egypt, which is a country in Africa, which we have moved into the Middle East so that we won't have to admit that all those wonderful things we got from Egyptians came from Africans. Those Africans were doing cataract surgery with metal instruments 4,000 years before the birth of Jesus Christ. You look like you didn't know that.
I did not.
For the love of God, you should. I know why you didn't know that. You were educated in the United States of America. So you didn't learn the whole truth. You only learned bits and pieces to make us look good. And enslaving people evidently made us look good. It didn't make us look good any more than running the Crusades for 300 years in order to Christianize the world made us look good. We celebrate the Crusades as being a wonderful thing that we did. We killed people for 300 years to bring them to Christ. I'll bet Christ was just delighted that that's the way he got them. You see, I have a problem. I have lots of problems, but my main problem is Black History Month. If you really taught Black history, you would have to teach Black history every day for the 180 days of the school year, because there is that much of it. Everything that we hold dear, most of the wonderful things we have, we got from Egyptians who which is a country in Africa. And when you read the book Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization, you will realize how badly we have been misled.
Etiefo ye ka we abakosem afa Ghana for yen fa ahodie ya ye wo mu. Ene wo kokasa wo Ghana na ya bechew. Ene akola a wote Ghana oni fa ahodie, oni ni on oni ono ankasa etumi a ye de kata. Ghana ni akola enim amamre a efa ne manbu ehu. Ghana ni a okosuku ene who the Ghana Tourist Authority for na omu arrange for excursion, school excursion. Yamano ayete said ye omu deserve omu epese omu jidin bima omu ho say nanso Ghana ni akola nim say all those things are granted to him. They are due to him or her. Ghana ni penyini edaso edwene woni tim say okasa pehini animu a eye disrespect anasa enye buo nanso onua wo hwame da bi eno eye colonial mindset ayede to obibini tim sane ebe ya oma ye ne say nia ogina wanim bia no enim snew sa na ombe gina wo mpanyfo anim etwa ntoro edada omu say omu ye god omu onyankopon eye kokọ owo we aboje certainty ena onyankopon anase obi a wotinyu ye fitaa na wanim ye fitaa no ona wo ka nokore enti wo hwe ene ye court system a it is an remnants of the hardship and all this colonial way obibini ede obroni fitaa tinwi ena abutiniti se oye judge way eye colonial mindset Ghana ni eni fa ahodie enti ene wo hwe na wo fo say ye celebrating Independence Day said the Canada for Aboriginals, the indigenous people of this land. I realize it say Canada Day, July, no, we celebrating. No. Say ye there, omu esu, anasa on my real hoda, because say na, abrofono mbesisa omuma, esi omu di omu ko suku, omu di omu ko Christian school, so omu ko kumkum omu nyina. Wey, enema, about 3 years ago, omu ko huhu, graves esiye Aboriginals for Red Indians for nema abrofono me say masses of graves ma inti ama Canada say do Independence Day even omati ase say oma di omu nuanemu bi bone Ghana ni a wo hwame woti ase say sa independence ya ye ka independence mpa chaw ene wo hwe Ghana ebimo agetumi ekura eno ene etumi na sesa ensa ene de etumi no ewo wankasankasa obi a nanim te se wo obi a one wo kakasa baako nanso oka ono wankasa ne kasa foforo because ye de sa weapon no ahye ne nsa sa ewudi sem no ahye ne nsa ena odi kire wankasa wo so se de ye no tetemremu no pepepepepe se de ye besisa mebunu free Africa ma ye di omo ba amanone be ye njuma dindin na musisi omo kunkum omo no sa na ene esi no monkey dey work babu the chop business nko na ewo Ghana uni fa ahudie Isaka Mohammed good evening ya ma me Esther share the video me pa wo chew ene yesua de doctor ni yanko back to history yem papa Kwame Nkrumah na oye archaeologist eno no osan enim archaeologist omo esua abodie omusua abodie nhwehwemu aniama esisi pen history any anthropologist aniama sade aniama ekoso ewo nipa nkoso die mu anasa nipa fa hodie ni eye ma Russian for kuntokoi eye history edaho Ghana for de ye kokan ye history a na bi mu asori o because ye mpe no kore Dr. Sogani Yanyako back. Now, me person will share video because this education you will not find in a Ghanaian classroom. Yet the CEO, yan person will be who say Kwame Nkrumah, ye Kufuor ne papa, any woman or mokeka home. And omone bro ni no koya baako because na yan papa Kwame Nkrumah na oka Africa abo. Na obibini obroni ni say wo kokọ no ono no kire price so beto no na Kwame Nkrumah say na me nton ma wo ena wo ton nsu a obni oto no ma wo price ana say de wo pese nsuo no buo etie ena wo ton no me nua mama ye nsua de wate Dr. Kosona ye nsua de na I'm learning new things. Dr.
Oh, when we say that Ghana is independent, actually no African country is really independent. If you say there were kingdoms, we were not countries. Because if you go back to look at the meaning of a country, okay, so I mean, to me, Canada, I mean, you're from sub a region, has your counties, your cities, and then counties, and then state. In the county, why do we call it county? Because they have to know the head count of the number of people living on that land, and then they owe you a fiducial duty to pay you taxes. So you have to count so that you can collect accurate taxes. That's how they came up with the word county. The same way, Anna, you can country, where the people are counted for tax purposes and obroni, or in the European sense, for exploitation. When we said in Belgium in 1884, Europe met in Belgium and decided, they have to go back to, since they've lost the slave trade, they have to go back to Africa and split the continent, apart. And each European country can have their own territory of a country, whereby whatever they have, whether it is minerals, timber, whatever, that will belong to them. And then the people will become the subject of that country, of the exploiting nation. Europe, technically, they are nations, not countries. In Africa, we are countries, but they confuse us to make us think, we have all kinds of countries. The organization that we call the organization of all countries, what is it called? Was it United what?
Also Virgin.
No, United Nations. They didn't say United Countries. They call it United Nations. So, countries, the countries that have been colonized, they've taken away our nationhood. And then they made us into territorial countries. Until we are not independent. That structure it was an artificial structure. We are not independent. So we have to understand the fact that the way Obronino ever split your continent, sorry, Berlin, not Belgium, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Split your continent, now after they split our continent and basically distributed the territories among themselves. And based on those structures, we gave names to those territories: Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Nigeria, what. We are not independent. These are artificial countries, and they still use that territorial demarcation to exploit us. Because when you go to the World Bank or IMF, in their big conference rooms, they have a big map of the African continent with all those territories, and it is based on that they work. It is based on that they continue to provide, what we need in terms of loans. And then they use the loans now to decide how much tax we have to pay, and they call it interest. It is actually taxation. They are taxing us, for using our own money. Meanwhile, they are taking our minerals and things.
Okay, Doc. Inti Osha Ghana sesiana What are some of the things that should clearly identify the fact that we don't have independence?
Oh, it is very clear. You can see that even in Ghana right now, you don't even have a mouth to speak. If you say something as a citizen of the country that the sitting, buffoon doesn't want, they send somebody after you to arrest you. So, for instance, you have government officials taking public land as private land. Let Ghanaians go and talk about it. They go after you. They arrest you.
Yeah.
So,
and I know,
so there is no independence.
Yeah. And I know young brother be Bobio se Bobia Kokan said Rebecca Ekufuado Ampa. There was a video where work was going on at the site, a government site. And ne somebody no boho said new development for Kufa. So as a citizen, they have the right to question it. So they said the Ekufuado dabena Ekufuado yere Rebecca dabena yebechino say Ekufuado yere order from above. Ekufuado yere has made an allegation about when there's litigate like my friend say when it comes to civic and I say 30 individuals versus individual, how does that become a state interest, interest of the state?
Yeah, only because she is the wife of the sitting buffoon. All right, so so basically the way Africa operates in terms of governance is that as soon as a person becomes a president, all powers and authority resides in his person, and therefore he decides whatever. So the law enforcement now becomes the personal law enforcement of the president. You know, the ministry, the court systems becomes the personal court system of the president. The financial institutions, the Bank of Ghana becomes the personal bank of the president. That's what we have in Ghana today. And you know, say Obia oye President Ebusu Nibia etumi sabi nkwasi ade bia wope uko kan ya becho because what I said here buffoon. And you know, it is something that Ghanaians have to stand up and be able to say we've had enough. You know, we're not going to take this anymore. And French is France. France is France today because of what they stood up against. When the monarchy began oppressing the people stood up and said, hey, we are not going to allow this to continue. And they stood up against the monarchy to retreat, to reclaim their land, to claim their true independence. Well, in Ghana, no, with all that is going on today, it's not only in Ghana, in most of Africa, and not only in Africa, in most of the colonized world. That includes Vietnam, Philippines, Latin America, the rest of Africa. Any country that was colonized by Europe does not have any independence, truly, because they still are being controlled. Because the structures, the Europeans structured the whole independence situation so much so that they can continue to control. And to the United Nations that they call United Nations, you know, it doesn't belong to colonized countries. It belongs to the colonial country nations. It doesn't belong to we as Ghanaians and Africans, the African so-called members of the United Nations. You know, they don't. Do you know any African country there that has a veto power in the United Nations? They don't. No. The only ones that have veto power is the European countries. Okay, and Russia and China. So now, in China, it's only because it has become economically powerful, and that's why China has veto power. Other than that, so the United Nations is a facade. It's a big lie. You know, African leaders need to be very, very tough. They need to be strong, and stand up and say, you know what? We don't want to be part of this United Nations because we don't belong here. You're not treating us fairly. Okay, example back on. Okay. I'm not advocating for separatism, but the Ewe land, you know, the Ewes in the Volta at one point decided, said, look, we have our people in Togo, in Benin, we want to join them to go back to the way we were as Ewe Kingdom, so that we have our own the way we were before. They approached United Nations. United Nations said no. But when Catalonia said we want to separate and be our own the way we were before, they agreed to Catalonia. So
why? Because
Barcelona, exactly.
Yeah, Mr. Wasam, how then can the African child free themselves? When Dr. Sogapa said, just watch this video. It speaks a volume. Share this video.
What to do? What to do? What to do?
Menuya sa wan sha san hwehwe biom san hwehwe biom.
What to do? What to do? What to do?
Way and I'm a friend to me. You see, the African child can never stand up to a soldier man like that. Now papa kura when we saw papa ko yad, papa chantro wenim. We don't train children to be individuals, to be like to have identity and to have opinions. Usha doctor, a better than a gun and niba all of a sudden, a generation year. A chimney, a society ma mugu abrochi in Uncle Ghana because abrochi phone call no mutimi jina papa ne mama when you cannot correct.
Yeah. And the same thing, because when Kwame Nkrumah back Ghana, when Kwame Nkrumah came from the United States and came back to Ghana to do this, he basically told them that we have to lift our people up, and because they have rights. They have rights of nationhood. And we have to lift our people up. And now was very progressive. And when we try to Kwame Nkrumah to say, and now or a tyrant, and now we're fine. No. This is not. Let me ask you a question. Before the recent demarcation of regions in Ghana, there were only 10 regions before. All the regions, none of them was known by their ethnic name except Ashanti region. The others is Central region, Volta, Greater Accra, Northern region, Upper East, Upper West, Western, Eastern region, and then of course Brong and Hafo. So Brong and Hafo and Ashanti region were the only two regions that are named by ethnicity.
I read
all the others are named by other things.
Yeah, I read the history on that, and because of course the Western came for gold. Gold was selling. And the region that had the gold were these two regions, and they were the empires. I mean, Bron and Hafo was the empire when you read before the hundreds, Now, Bron and Hafo, then Chirafono no Mudi Ghana, the empire that was ruling, taking tax from Ghana and Kasa, Omonio Abrofono na, and make the trade, Usha Omoa na ahimfofo nso omo count the other empires eba because na brofono ba ho and ebedi dwama because of enchene cola not name we leather and a smith goldsmiths for na omutu gold pa, so they were taking tax, and sana Ashanti region rise within the 18th 1700 to 1800.
That whole region was dangerous where the Ashantis are today. That whole region were dangerous. So the danger was actually split into different, because they are a family. The original danger, based on the history, they are a family. So there is Adanse used to be part of the danger, and Adanse is the Obuasi Dunkwa area there. So they were in control of the gold. Now Asante Fuano, that time they were not even
Yeah.
They came to Akuapem people pushed them away. Okay. And then the dangerous, allotted them a land and said, this is what you are going to stay. Now, when there was something that happened, we don't know the details of that history, but obviously the Ashantis began to collude with the Westerners, to get access to the land of gold.
Yes.
So they had a deal. If you help us to fight these Adansi people, and the Dangerous people, and we conquer the land, we will give you access.
Yes.
That was how the Ashantis gained their kingdomhood.
Yes. Yes.
Because before they were not a kingdom.
No, they were not. Even there was a woman who also rose in Nigeria, and the reason why they elected her, because the Westerners elected her because she was able to gain access to a lot of the Benin way for no so oma abrofono kwan ema abrofono konka that part of the land. Ghana there's a country there's an area called the enemy within. Ghana history the enemy within all talks about how the Ashanti kingdom rose and who gave what to what. But you see, everybody sa ehuna yadi ashani pemuni and kwasum the schemes, ama in this year abedane way aqua.
Abedane in this year.
Emma adane, oh yes. Ama in this year badane nkwa. Ena nkwa mum abedane ade this year. Doctor.
Yeah.
But our history need the sad.
Well, to come to conclusion, Ghana, we are really not independent, so we should start deceiving ourselves. Should start deceiving ourselves that we are independent. We are 65 years independence. Look, if you are 65 years independence, look at Dubai. How long did it take Dubai to develop the way it is? It didn't take them 50, 65 years, and they are far advanced. So if we are really independent, by now Ghana should have been one of the top countries in the world, because Ghana is known to have almost everything that it needs to make a country more prosperous. When Kwame Nkrumah had noted Axim, he kept it quiet for a while, because Axim had so much. They had oil, they had natural gas, they had the timber, they had everything. So Kwame Nkrumah kept Axim quiet for future development. You see? And then later on, these cronies, money mongers, cannot wait to get a hold of Axim and exploit what is there for their own pockets.
For their own pocket.
It's very sad. It's very, very sad that our African continents are the way they are today, especially Ghana. Ghana, we used to be known as the star of Africa, no more. No more. Under this buffoon, Ghana has become the dumping pit. Sorry. So that we have to go to even Rwanda to go and learn how to govern a city. We have to go to Rwanda.
Even when we came back, what did we bring? I didn't say yekwa yemfashe ma yekwa na yakwada hotels akese na yedi ma kese na yaba Hereford Tebri. Also, we can keep blaming again. Hereford, I am on your side. Hereford, I am on your side. Enough with the blaming, because you see the iron bar behind the hungry cow. The hungry cow that feeds the whole world has been lifted long time ago. The hungry cow is just stuck where it is. Hereford, they say, also we can keep blaming the former colonial masters. The current deadly poverty creation by African corrupt criminals government has nothing to do with the colonialism, because Africa is being destroyed by her economic and political terrors. Government, and not by the civilized world. Singapore and Malaysia and South Korea were also colonized, even India. Even India, Papa, you are so right. They were colonized, but now they are highly developed because it's the same. They don't have a president on teaching. They don't have president on to me and show no ankasani kuro muntadie. No wa sheda. What say you see, Ghana for we are corrupt. I'm telling you, we are corrupt. A corona saying a chrono, a proye. Iti Ghana wo ba o pese we good kura. A corona pro. Iti wo ba na wa hu se wa be wako ra den bi emu bon ama wo hwan ehwamda. Wako ra ebini so ama wo hwan ehwamda. So when you stick around shit for too long, you start to stink, and that is what is going on.
And that's the sad part, because I have friends that who came to Ghana to establish, good systems that will help to create jobs. You know what they happen? The Ministry of Labor and what now, and the Lands and Commission, they wanted bribe before they will even process the papers.
Yes.
And he said, we're just coming to help. We don't have any, profit in this. We're just coming to help because of our friend. He's been good to us. We are coming to his country. So omu gumani say, Emma, omu pesike diansana. Enti my for forget as for that country, I don't think we'll go back there anymore. Well, enti things like that, it really makes us look very bad. But not only looking bad, it deprives Ghanaians, of the right to exist and to live in a prosperous country, or let me say a nation that is now known as Ghana. It is a very prosperous nation, but it is being deprived because of baboons that sit on the chair that will not allow anybody to help make the country a better place.
Yeah. When na ekoso wo Ghana menua.
My aim is to find out how students in JHS2 were coping with information communication technology lessons without computers. Today's lesson is how to create a folder.
To create a folder, before you can able to create a folder,
Pardon the spelling error and concentrate on what the teacher has to say about how to create a folder.
Create a folder. Before you can able to create a folder, when you on your boot on your computer, we have some place you click.
Teaching computer science.
You click
computer. Oh.
And then you see the place folder. And when you click, the folder will, the empty folder will appear. And then you open it and put all your documents inside.
I am confused about what the teacher is saying, so I intervened.
Do you know what a folder is?
Please no.
Who knows what a folder is?
Folder is a symbol where you keep or keep your what? Documents inside for the future use.
What did your teacher say?
Na wankasa ote classroom a teacher na brofuna you see ye hire hu papa, you see ye just say ye di enkola bone wo Ghana se wote ya na wo hwe na ye kan we mu na wo ba be mention MPP NDC a wa bodam sene obodam ni a oncha atade wo Ghana wodam bonus ne. Why confused? I'm sorry. Sometimes it is very difficult not to speak a certain languages because you kind of find it very difficult to understand. Say, onuya ehu obi ti say, adie bi ti say, ewo Ghana na or say, I don't see. You see things like this. Akola sebi oyare, anase Inyaria ekunkum yemebunu slowly. People are dying in Ghana from small diseases, infections, and things that, I mean, you only need an antibiotic to fix it or some form of medication to fix it. But basic we need basic supply of medicine is not in Ghana. But yet you have your president taking a plane, chartering a plane for what, $14,000 per an hour, and then end up, I mean, screwing up so much money. There's so much money missing in the system. Millions of dollars are missing, transferred into an unknown account, and Ghanaians are told not to speak or ask any questions. But then you have people sitting under the tree. You have a school named Under Tree School. You have a hospital that has a name by a sieve school, because when you're sleeping on your bed, you just keep praying. You have three things to pray for: food, to eat. You are actually praying that you don't die from the disease that you went to the hospital for, but you are rather praying so it doesn't rain, because as soon as it rains, you're gonna be wet on your on hospital bed. This is so serious. Africans, you see, mama politics in a tribe. I say chrono. Look at this thing. We're talking about e-levy. Yeah, can't independence. Oh, yeah, can't Ghana. Yeah, we're independence. Oh, seriously? When did we gain independence? The day we got that celebration. After that, we went back because will walk. I'm in Kurumase. Echo say independence. No, Jemaya, Yeko say no. And then we went back into slavery. So we don't have independence. Look at this one. Yeah, talking about e-levy. Look at this. Yes, it's a Sunday. Yeah.
Me papa woja. Me ya me pesa mesumeu. Tu peux pas jogo kwa me. Amo tobe.
Look at that. I mean, people are soliciting for people like that. Our own children, parents. And ne baako a me hu ye, maame bi a ne koko, maame na bɔ abrewa ne koko afuo. Omo akodwiri, you see, opanyin bi owa ano. Opanyin bi ono de owo independent. Because when you need independence from people who are hijacking our system. So they have independence, and the people who don't have independence, you know, the people with their schemes in the middle of the night, they plot their evil schemes and then they bring it into a broad daylight and then execute it. Bible ne say, and trust them ne say, those people, you see, nyama da homa Ghana no na ne ya ne say, ebeka wa wote wa won say, pene ma yenka no so ebeka bi. Do we have independence? Almost say me disika. Me $100 amede bebra abai whoever is soliciting for this child to get cure no abai ne say sika eya chedie no ono nso pebi. And then they have created a law, a policy to steal from you, and you are sitting there saying say e-levy is good, we should pay, because sika na yede ama omo na omokobo obosia no mo die wie. They don't know economics. They don't know. It's almost the omo dia fa plane. Omo dia di ma. He, omo dia ba abenum tea. Ya di sikana ma adwasafo amo se omo fa mmehwe omo mesuku wa bonten. Nso ya ja wosuku no. We eye independence. Enye independent. Doctor, maybe some way sometimes it is so sad for us to talk about. So how does a Ghanaian child, a Ghanaian citizen gain independence?
Yeah. The only way to get independent is, as we were before, remember we were talking about self-worth. No? Mm-hmm. So that self-worth, you know, the awareness of that self-worth and your ability to discover what it is that you can do to empower yourself. Because when we say Ghana, no, we sit there and wait for NDC to come and do something, MPP to come and do something, government to come and do something. That's not going to help. Okay? Because, for instance, here in Canada, in Europe, No, people don't sit and wait for Trudeau's party to come and do something. Things go on, whether the party is there or not. Things go on, right? For instance, here in Washington, when Trump shut down the government, life still went on.
Yes.
All right. So, and how was that? Is because people have empowered themselves to live independently, whether or not the government does it or not. So it's time for Ghana to learn how to live independently from the government. That's the only way you can seek self-government. But if you are depending on the government to do everything for you, you will remain a slave in your own country forever. And people have to, I've always said, the blessing that our Creator has endowed us to prosper is in the land. Go and work the land. That's what he said. Go and work the land, because look, Europe is Europe today because of agriculture. US is US today because of agriculture. The agriculture that our ancestors undertook for them. It is on the back of our ancestors, African ancestors, that Europe built themselves. We can do it. We can do what our ancestors did in Europe, in America, in North America, in the Indies. We can do it. So they didn't have to have a lot of money to do what they did to develop this country. So Ghana, yeah, we can do it. We can do what is necessary. The blessings for prosperity is in the land.
It's in
and
the
you
land.
see how the enemy is destroying our land because of the blessings in the land. You see what they're doing? They are destroying our land, with all this galamsey and polluting the water systems, so that the land will be barren, because if the water is not good for the land cannot produce.
Yeah.
And so all these things are basically signs that Ghana is heading towards the worst, unless we realize that we have to stop depending on government and rise.
Yes.
People
rise,
who live in the cities without jobs, go back home. Go back home and start a small garden. You will be surprised what will come out of that garden, because your little effort will be blessed by the blessing in the land and from the blessings that comes from above. And you eventually begin to see something will come up, and you start working your way towards that. You are heading towards prosperity. So if you live in the city without a job, go back to your homeland, to your village, to your cottage, wherever, and invest yourself in the land, because it is from the land that you came. It is to the land that you will go. So everything from your beginning to your end is in the land. Go and work the land to get your blessing and become independent. Many blessings. There is no independence in Ghana right now. Not under this buffoon, not under anyone who acts like this guy or this government. So please become independent. Have your self-worth. Don't depend on the government. Start using your strength. Start using the abilities God has given you to create your own independence. Many blessings.
Thank you, Doc. If you're just coming, do we have independence in Ghana? With everything I'm seeing, no, we don't. We don't. Okay. And many reasons. If you don't see it, then open your eyes. Maybe Paul, we need to send you to a prophet, which you are a prophet in Ghana. There is none. And so you need to come to Canada, and I will put my hand on your eye, and yes, indeed, you will be healed, just like Paul got healed.
These phony people in Ghana called prophets. Don't trust them. They are all cronies. They are all rogues, criminals, thieves.
Well, the country made them that way. As I must say, because if you study, social science, if you study the way people becomes, it is because the system makes you that way. It's the expectation.
They take the vulnerability of the country to use that to oppress people.
Austin, or say we can become world super power in food supply, but those leaders will not allow the youth to do so. Austin, you see, a language is a seed, and I stopped speaking that way. That no, we can't. Yes, we can. Obama said one thing that we can. Once you tell yourself that you cannot do it, and indeed, as a man's thinketh, so is he.
So
whatever
he does.
Say,
yeah.
Yes. Whatever you
know,
say.
President Obama was told that he can never become president. He said, "Yes, I can."
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
I can. And that was one of his mantra. Yes, we can.
Yes.
And he carried on that movement, and he became the first African president of the United States.
Exactly.
So, never say that we can't. We can. That's why I'm talking about the self-worth, because the worth that God has given you has so many abilities embedded in it. So you have to utilize it, to be what you're created to do, to be and to do.
Yes.
So don't ever say, I can't. Take that out of your dictionary completely.
Thank you. Yeah. Take it out. So Austin, the youth can. You see, Doctor touched on something. My brother Julius, oh, God bless you, my brother. Thank you so much. I just have to say thank you. Freedom fighters, we have support. Trust me. You can do anything you put your mind to it. Anything. Papa, unim to me ekurawa. Miss Adia no debia. I like to say that because the only limit to you is God. The only limit to you is God, is the universe. You see, and you need to understand the type of seed you are. Now, if you don't know your seed, nobody will know you, because the seed is just a seed. Okay? Until, say, you start to germinate, until you start to sprung out of your root, nobody knows you. But in Ghana, no, you see, our leaders are scared so much of what lies within the seeds. Those seeds sometimes explodes out of this sand, and they are afraid because they didn't make any provisions for it, and they didn't make any room. They did not make no policies. They were not ready for the gifts of Ghana. Ghana is so gifted. People with a way critical thinkers are Ghana for. I am telling you, our traders media call centers, we even crap UPS my order. My juma as a sorter. I scanned, I changed the address, and then Usha omo ayedi ensa juma pa as builders, as sculptors. People, we are so critically, but we shouldn't be too critical on ourselves. We are so hard workers. So you can. The minute you start being you will see something say. Only choice. But the day you were coming, the day you were coming, no, woman have a choice. Anka obuti free. So I'm telling you, obi wa wo ba no omu su say enya wo ta che say omu nya wan ko omu yi wo free hontem. But who buy it because we are ready for you. Why are you doubting yourself? Wow, me. Me say abafan hu won faso. Onipa owu a wa pro ne half a pro. So hu nurse ni ye bisa no. Onipa owu even owidini obroni di na ye a research ama na ye nya eduro am sankrofo yare. Eno nti na me say obi a hu won faso no nti Ghana ni a wo hwe me mesrew. Wunya indi wofa hundie nenya mai. The minute okoto hinibi unifa hundie. Respect people by their works. Obia or add value to you. And you be a wusha no say nipa way or wasikenti no me be na ena menua wo your kromfo sense kromfo no no suko wi ahe no. Shall me say Ghana for nyina they are saying yeah to MPP NDC because we are vulnerable people. Everybody want to chop something. We are kromfo. Other than entity mu yes sir. Why can't we be nurtured? Let nature meet with nurturing part of development. I just say with the theories of who you are. Why are you now what just say we have become so selfish? We leader no or you selfish but also we are selfish for hailing Akufo-Addo Tiwe. Are you trying to tell me, say, you don't see nothing wrong with our government system? Yeah, of course, to say, and yeah, we are more way crook than them. So when I see Swanka, I'll be more than Akufo-Addo. Tell what I say. Now, until you see things the way it is, until say, Ube say, Canada, edu mrebi a snow beto, uchun wutan snow to. I want to see muti said, yeah, we know, be I obi no. And some do so I need to me it is nature. You have to embrace it. Ya wunyan semuni wutumi so nyankopon e di wabeto ha. Or say make it work for you. And until na ye sit down na ye steady and near materials I ye be ye dan ma show abem. Ama away aye cool. So what you say? Nyankopon ma yen se nneema nyina ho tumi bibibia ensuo ejiri nyankopon ma yen so tumi enso Ghana ni. So we don't want to we don't explore. It's Ghana ni ba wunyini wo fa ho die it will start from you. Dr. Sogama mo nice way antidotes and then de yesu ade pa doc. Mesra wo maame medafo auntie ama I will call you. Me maame bi owa ha maame ama mefro wo he ya mefro why. Me ba Ottawa quarantine mefro. Mami eraba medofo nyame nhyira so wa be join yen Cape Coast women, hey, the strong women omo no mo Ghana no hwe esese mudi ko rewura nkola anum makola hwa akola we wo de hwa akola we na hwe se momu obi wo Ghana ni akola yetete na ye kum ni ye dum nija ne spirit e woni mo hwa akola we wo de hwe no
what to do? What to do? Lama, sekolah tanah, what to do?
We Ukrainian yakola o hwe so just na omo be kunkum omo se wa bodam me bo waso hwe omo ma no omo ye din o doctor who last word for or say we really need a new nkruma, someone who is actually papa you are the nkruma in you one
well the problem any Ghana say we undervalue our ability to do well. And you know sabi openyi bi din kwasasem cry so well they are in power. No, you have the power. You can take away their power. If you allow them to have power over you by depending on them, then you are allowing them to have power. I say abuawa mu me nana bi first near so otako kwayem ekoti jata me ebisa say jata pa na wo utimi ko ewura ko jata or the kind of occasion is here adeba kwa wo mama jata aha oni say so wo ko wiram na wo shia jata. The moment you start having fear, you are already giving your power to that jata. And that's how, because they are animals are intuitive, they sense your fear. And once they know that you are afraid, it means you are communicating that to them, say you are a prey. So, but when you have that courage not to fear, and you see a lion like a jata, and you actually have that bravery to stand firm and look that jata square in the face, and you open your human eyes to look into that jata's eyes. You open his mouth and snarl at you and then turn around and leave.
I've seen
when they used to say that St. Augustine used to go and pray in the desert, and sometimes he will have lions. And people thought, oh, how can he be the lion? But this was the trick, because he was never afraid of jata. When they asked the question, how is the young David able to kill jata and leopards? How is that? Because he was never afraid of jata. So it is fear that makes you disempowered. Fear disempowers you to do what you are capable of doing. And you know, if you think you need a new Kwame Nkrumah, make the effort to be that Kwame Nkrumah in your own household, in your own life. You see. So, my maternal grandmother, my mommy, she was very tough on me when I was a child, and I never understood it. I thought that this woman hated me. But later on, she explained to me and said, there is something God has put in you that is strong, and I have to train you, to discipline you, so that you can use that ability to serve according to the purpose for which God brought you into this world.
That's right.
And you know what? I have traveled so many around the country, to over 58 countries in the world, and everywhere I go, I've learned to live with the people. I jive with them. You think, say, I'm from that place, but it is something that I realize it's because my grandmother saw something in me that she trained me. She was very tough on me and groomed me to be able to overcome all kinds of barriers and whatever, to do what I am called to do. And I want to empower each and every one of you. Say, God has put into you something that makes you capable of achieving whatever it is you are called to achieve. Don't sit down and be depending on somebody to let it happen for you. So Ghanaians, if you want your independence is in your hands. It's in your heart. It's in your being that the Almighty God has given you. Many blessings.
Dr. Yeda was say, yede yen we me beba ewiye ene yesua de every doctor ho onuanom Ghana lacks a lot. Let's face it. Okay, Ghana we lack it, and I'm sure other countries in so Ghana ebi lack snibi. Now so the difference is say, you see, we started long time ago. You see kwemwache. You see kwemwache na yen kwemwa you see yene say emra even before independence Ghana ni ewo ekuro foforo so Ghana ni tu kwan yen papa Kwame Nkrumah obeje yen fa ahodie maaye no na owo America emra na yen papa Kwame Nkrumah wa America no na America fo tuntumfo na wonana na we Cape Coast Castle na esi ho no ne we dungeon na wo ho no na esi ho dadada iti na sa niama ni nyina esi ho as enhwesode anasa abakosem say yabesesa nkrofo bi mu afri yenkuro no so eba krofo fro so maame root mema wakwa aba say yede omo be yadwuma na sa America kro no so na sa nkrofo no ye nananom ne ye nuanom a yesesa omo mojahye mu ede sesa omo call sa krofo fro no so no na America fo edi omo yakayaka de ma ye papa bi a emra na Kwame Nkrumah wo America no krampo ni di omo ehia mpunipu na omudi nkita ho ebi ni Martin Luther King Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. na ne papa oyosofo and they started a movement, the Christian movement, young men going into towns, going into counties, Mississippi ye kunkum bebre na obibini eni adaje obibini ni fahudie emra Kwame Nkrumah eba ewa America oko as a scholar ono de oko school no na obibini ni fahudie wa America memu na when yen papa Kwame Nkrumah ba Ghana esan se ne wa behu nti o se daabi enkrofo we yen to me survive wo munsem omo mpe ye yie na ne ekoso wa America die ena obekun ye je fahudie ma Africa twa ye ankasa yen sika satam na ye di pound obroni sika ono na obroni na ohihye obroni na oje yen tax obroni na yen koko ne yen nyama nyina ye ton nyina obroni nsa na eko ena yen papa Kwame Nkrumah say yes indeed an African man can take care of their own affairs ena obeye oh ye nuanom bia omompe na news yi omante na obroni pese na osan onimu ajapade ni ngudi egu yansase ni sunti no opese oye na afebo eno na yen papa soga abechirechiri yemu no so yen papa Kwame Nkrumah hyase se afa de nkrofo yi se yanhwe a omo de yen sika no omo beye yen value no ketwa bi a yen tuma nyina omo beye ne sidi na omo de omo akoton no dollars sa woti ase ema yenya yenkoso eno na hu yo yen gotemu nyina asi eno na unhu yen kwa nyina si aye potholes manholes yeni hospital beds yeni basic supplies yeni bi ama nipa da say by research nso psychologist for name psychoanalytic way theories ni hwehwemu ene niama bebre ene Freud mu ni omo makeka ho ahwehwemu ahu say onipa da sani elake basic amenities basic needs emani bejimi emani beye boy omeye useful to the society achedi ewoni mu no ekosie emani enkoso ema wiase nso nkoso sawote ase eno na ema Africa ene uhu ebi ukoka asam ketua bi a ohene osiso we opanyin osiso esese opanyin ne deda ese opanyin no odidi no da na obi ekomde no no de wagye atum se me yakoa me de memfata iti ye ni fa hodie ya papa Kwame Nkrumah hu we ni mu nyina na opesanka omma Africa ni ba fa hodie omma Africa ni etimi efa ne ntuma ekura biom omma Africa ni ba asumdwe na omma Africa ni ba ahoto because we think say hustling is normal up to today. It's a nessa what you wanna celebrate independence day. Mr. Udren Yama. Ofo say uwa independence, unwa fa hudie wom, Mr. And now bet me a kojina was a kufuado. Niawu ye sikana ayera. Yedi kotu account to mu ayera and sikano one bet me a kobisa. And that levy I see a day by a see a mindful omu no munim omuboto mu no munim levy no ne nchirasiye. And almost say human right. Almost omuntua me pa cho betimi akwaso untua. Ebimu esan kwasumti ebimu nso esan say ya promise omo ya promise omo. This is the lowest form of enslavement. This is the lower for you to think say of ahudi enso say woni fa ahudi. It is the lowest form. Wodi anka cheme preko na me hu baby a me gina bia wo na me hu baby a metutututu so na me hya me hu den ba we de ya dada en ya dada yen de yakosi quantity ena ye gya yen ho saa ewo ekuro a eye foreign so ena ye nim ye ra ye de yakosha jata nsamom yen papa Kwame Nkrumah ohun we mu nyina ena na opese o ma yankasa ye independent yankasa ene yesi we corn beef tinapa ewo Ghana enam ewu a apro kekempo Ghana fo ntimi nya bi yankasa yenhire yentimi preserve ade yen fruit bebrebe yentimi hatabi yeni factories a dry fruit hanom go and buy a natural fruit dry fruit keke ne bodin dry fruit wo kromo ne bodin even dry one ni aya blend kura memfanye juice memfanye shake keke ne bodin frozen one na yempese be pro ne bodin Ghana, you need how to preserve those things. Tin tomatoes ye bi. Hey, factory yankasa yampa boa soldier for police for mpa boa Kwame Nkrumah bebuye factory egu. Kwahwe kwan railway any niama for Kwame Nkrumah na ye yankasa ye cars ene egu. Ene obi a talent academy akolebia ne talent ne gift eye lighter a shining a be blinding ni penny or tia kurabia se na ena ebakubia miko hu ye waye way tracks a road a hanomon kola 20 something a draw road no ema engineer no eco engineer minim Ghana ni akola bi ono no ote hona ote ni dem na ono na onim measurement subway ha equipment a subway we ehia na yaka kire no no wono ameja na wonim measurement we engineers ne behia na wa oda otedem o ena ogi sika kakraka Ghana ni ba o ene Ghana fo nkola nyina de omu gate etete nkurase odete we ohwe na enye ya na ode akoye osofo ene gate nyina akoda ne koro no yen gate nyina akoda ne fi ewo Africa menu asam we eye serious inti ene Ghana ni akola the nature of you we ye pampro no yesi dan ne yedi wasim into what peche pampro ne ba pampro so ba or the force ne ho dindindin ena wo so yesi concrete dan yesi wo so wo hwa pampro betimi anyini ye wo ye ni enini o sadan ena yesi ya cheche ya ya di a toilet down ho na ya di wakosi inti wo ba inti wo nan che say wo root entimi en stabilizing itself ye wo so wo ye koko wa ba no the way say fifi no Ghana for just say we are all scattered around yan gift nyina kika baby a enseseka inti ama ekro na si ho no he bomb nkuto am say ye explode inti wo behwe obi owo gift wo kasa ho no wa dane ewei ekronfo ewo Lawrence station na ohwa na say onye sika kakra behwe no akope dan bi no wa ne gift ese odi change ni pasakra ekra no de akosko wura dan bi mu no de aye krono odi aye krono bo a gift esesanka otimi eka awarefo a ntokwa ba omuntam bom na nka otimi chiro book ene enkrofo bi mu a they have so IQ is so high ma Ghana ye too hot into oma dane krono oma dane away a poison to the system omu teach say nyankopon kura ni ho you see they are gift no omu hu ba bi omumfa I to say playing ya start wo dan mu playing esesanka omudi ekosi baby asase kese no yakọ start ewo ebia baby asase nusa inti ekoto nsuom ti Ghana for otimi hu se obi ho a owo knowledge and wisdom to do something obere no the teach ade ye wrong otimi say some of them are philosophers otimi hu se ebi ye philosophers and no mo TV so tietie mu ti se abodamfo ena ne omu kire Ghana ni ba no say nyankopon ni ho Jesus ama Jesus we ya brofo we ena we ya brofo unhu sankose asem no wabrochi we nyina ye gift o ba essence asase na pronti no nia epie wo mu nyina propro ena nam TV so wo behwe ma omo ye social workers so no mo te ho kire at the phone because of freedom ye ni freedom ye ni fa hodie menu a wo hwe me don't be jubilating say Ghana wo fa hodie ye ni bi Nyankopon shira mo share the video na yenhwe so ye besu ade ye de bebram ye de bewo mo se pane ma me root Nyankopon shira ye ma I'll call you why me frau share the video ni enkoma ne ndu wo platform 10 afatoto so ye Ghana independent ye sua ya ba yankasa yamba kosemonto ya kasa doctor ni yamba kasa afemu bebre. May God bless you all. And I wish you celebrate some form of independence. Say na obesha asio china na obenya wo independence o minim nanso ha no mo de mitimika ne amepe na me independence no rules ne laws e won nyina ne constitution nyina ya ma me ho guide na me kura ho booklet na me so me de nam e wa ha ba wo de wo ni bi ye ka say na we o se pene ye ka say we o se eye me nkrofo a umma kwan enti se won sua atena ho but me ka kire wo say we ye Ghana ni a we ye gifted ne wo mu no ehu but wo mpese wo be ma e manfo ewiase ehu wo de a ene na che se walankasa fa wa de ye beto aso asua de why Nyankopon shira mo nyina. May God bless you all. And now outside is so beautiful. I said they may change me scene one baby me we I bet na living room fe ja benden enti anka mebo nyoma mamu nso man start with enyom enti ye be fa ne sa share the video why me nua mamu umpema sam kura wo de dom sa why umpema ne me kan ye san koyi a me ye nipa first me ye especially me ye tuntum sa wo how ye me how me bre me no one be bre he me no ne yakope visa ho asem yakope ne ye pre enkofu yi kro yi su bi me no nyina na be bre me no nyina na ye fra ye nshisho nti he wo twu mu time me no nyina he ye kro di nkro sa wo ye twinio wo ye pepenio ye wan he ye hu sa wa bonten and Ukraine for see yen gate we misa say when for na free upper east for na free upper west ni north ni south ye kan ye nyina mbo mu nti fa sa de ni mom na fa tutim na ye nja ejimisem. May God bless you.